In a quiet town, there lived a boy named Rohan. He was sharp-minded, full of potential, and had grand dreams of becoming a doctor. However, there was one major obstacle in his path: his inability to control his own mind. Despite his intelligence, Rohan lacked discipline. His thoughts often wandered, making it difficult for him to focus. Every time he sat down to study, distractions would creep in: his phone, social media, or even idle daydreams. He constantly told himself, "I'll study later, there's still time." But later never arrived. His parents and teachers frequently advised him on the importance of discipline and focus, yet Rohan dismissed their words. He believed that being smart was enough to succeed. One day, his school announced the results of a scholarship exam, a crucial test that could help him achieve his dream of becoming a doctor. Rohan had taken the exam with high hopes, but when the results were revealed, his heart sank. He had failed. Meanwhile, his friends, who had studied diligently, passed with flying colors. His teachers, who once admired his potential, now looked at him with disappointment. For the first time, Rohan felt ashamed, not because he lacked intelligence, but because he knew he had wasted his time. That evening, he sat alone, reflecting on his failure. He thought about all the precious hours he had squandered on distractions. It was then that he realized a hard truth: intelligence alone wasn't enough. Without discipline, success was impossible. Determined to change, Rohan sought guidance from someone known for self-discipline, a wise monk who lived on the outskirts of town. It was said that this monk had once been an ordinary man, but had transformed his life through sheer mental discipline. The next morning, Rohan visited the monastery and found the old monk meditating under a tree, his face radiating peace. Bowing respectfully, Rohan said, "Master, I struggle to control my mind. I want to succeed, but distractions always hold me back. Please teach me how to discipline myself." The monk opened his eyes and smiled. "Ah, the restless mind. That is the greatest battle of all. Let me share a story with you." He began. Many years ago, there was a young man named Veer who dreamed of becoming the greatest archer in the kingdom. He was strong and talented but lacked focus. One day, he trained hard. The next, he was distracted by meaningless things. Desperate to improve, he sought out a legendary archery master and asked to be trained. The master took Veer to a river and handed him a bow and arrow. "Shoot that leaf floating in the water," he instructed. Veer aimed and fired, but the arrow missed. The master then asked, "What did you see when you aimed?" Veer replied, "I saw the river, the trees, the sky, and the leaf." The master shook his head and said, "That is your problem. Your eyes take in too much at once. A true archer sees only the target and nothing else." Determined to improve, Veer trained tirelessly for months. He practiced focusing only on the target, shutting out all distractions. Eventually, when the master asked again, "What do you see?" Veer answered, "Only the leaf." This time, when he released the arrow, it struck the target perfectly. The monk looked at Rohan and said, "Your mind is like Veer's. It is distracted by everything around you. If you truly want to succeed, you must train your mind to focus solely on your goal." Rohan nodded, beginning to understand, but he still had one question. "Master, how do I train my mind?" The monk smiled and gave him 4 simple yet powerful rules. Control your thoughts. Each time your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the task at hand. Just like the archer, focus only on your goal. Create a routine. A disciplined mind thrives on structure. Set a daily schedule and follow it consistently. Eliminate distractions. Identify what steals your focus, be it your phone, television, or unnecessary activities, and remove them while working. Be consistent. Mental discipline isn't built overnight. It requires daily effort, just as an athlete trains his body every day. Determined to change, Rohan took the monk's advice to heart. He created a strict study schedule and followed it religiously. Every time his mind wandered, he reminded himself of his dream. He deleted unnecessary apps and avoided social media while studying. At first, it was tough. His mind craved distractions, but he refused to give in. Slowly, his ability to concentrate improved, and he could study for hours without losing focus. Months later, when he took another important exam, he was prepared. This time, he didn't just pass, he secured the top rank. His success wasn't due to luck or intelligence alone, it was his disciplined mind that led him there. Years later, as Rohan stood on stage receiving an award for academic excellence, he recalled the monk's words, "The mind is like a wild horse. If left untamed, it will lead you astray. But if you train it, it will take you exactly where you want to go." From that day forward, Rohan lived by one principle: discipline your mind, and success will follow.